They're not the same, right? Exactly. Yeah, it's like, for instance, they're the content creators. Okay. Then we have the media houses, online media. Please stand up, online media houses. Mama wants to see you. You're there? Okay. Good. I'll ask Pamela now to come and give a vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mzee and Mama, for this golden opportunity. Natasha has asked that I summarize what we've learned here, but I would like to start with a very, very short story. First of all, Mama, I want to thank you for being a woman of faith and valor and for teaching us how to lead as women and as mothers of the nation. Truly an honor. The first time you went to Karamoja as minister, I remember you told us that Karamoja will begin to grow its own food, not by my might, but the might of God. And we saw that happen. And for the very first time, Karamoja was able to grow its own food when she was minister. That was God working through her. Secondly, it's the story of Mzee, and I'm coming to you, Mzee, because it summarizes what we've learned today. I had a neighbor back in the village in Kabare. He was a simple geography teacher. And the story of oil in Uganda has never been fully told, at least to the Bazukulu. It's something you should do with Marcel and Sanda. Go to Kampala to train and work in the oil sector that none of us were sure would get to this day. So his first flight out of Uganda was to go and study oil and come back and work in Uganda in the oil department. Unfortunately, he died last in the upstream oil, Dozith. But you had seen what nobody could see, and you'd share with your commissioner because nobody believed in Uganda at the time, but you did. So thank you so much, Mzee, for that vision. The other story, a very short one as well, is of, what is it called? This place in Nakasongola that overhauls and rebuilds helicopters. Nobody thought that we'd train our own scientists to put a helicopter apart and put it together, because we're using Russia and Ukraine, I think, to do that job. But today, with the war in Ukraine and Russia, the job in Nakasongola, you should take time and go see the story of Uganda. Go feel the story of Uganda, as it was, as it is, and as it will be, if we keep our faith, if we keep united, and growth. You spoke about the 4 sectors. I hope all of us here can at least strive to belong to any one of the 4 sectors. Even you, Publicity Natete. Any one of them, there'll be something in your pocket. We've learned so much, but of Uganda, in summary, the love of Uganda, the strategic security of Uganda and of Africa. That is my biggest takeaway. And I hope it can be for us all, because when you love Uganda, sometimes on TikTok they abuse us. How do you teach patriotism? How do you teach loving Uganda? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If you go to other countries where toddlers speak so well about their countries, it is because they are intentional about this. And so for me, the summary of all this, Mzee, is teaching us values of wealth creation, values of loving our country, Uganda, values of working for our country, Uganda, values of growing our country from where it is today to a country that we want our unborn grandchildren to inherit. I think, Natasha, in summary, that is just about it. Otherwise, I would go point by point and will not end here. So I thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam, for that. Those stories as well. Thank you for that. Mzee and Mama, we are finished.
Now, let me summarize. Can somebody translate in Uganda? Somebody who knows Uganda well and English. Omanyi luzungu gwe Rasta amanyi luzungu.
Yes.
I'm very glad to meet you.
Asanyuse nnyo okubeera nga atusinkana olunaku olwaleero
And to know your contribution
n'okumanya obuweereza bwammwe mu kino ekintu kye tulimu olunaku olwaleero
in the new economy.
mu ikonomi empya oba ebyenfuna
Because you are adding
kubanga tufuna tuyingiza
something which was slightly different,
ekintu nga kitonotono nga kyanjawulomuko katono
which was just usual advertising.
ekyali okulanga okwali okwa bulijjo okwali okwa bulukale okwa
In
bulijjo
the radios and TVs.
ku rediyo ne tv
Now you have used the internet to combine celebrity with promotion.
kati mukozesezza omukutu gumugatta bantu okubeera nga mugatta abamanyikiddwa n'abantu aba bulijjo
And also
era
link it with the other sectors, the ones that have obubondo obulala.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Also link it with the other obubondo,
Obubondo
the sectors.
sectors, yes.
So
Era
I have circumstances
awulidde nti mwe abasinga ku mmwe mwazaalibwa mu mbeera ez'enjawulo
eyalimu ebisoomoozo.
obukusoomezebwa by'ebizibu omuli challenges ez'enjawulo
And this is exactly what we have been struggling with. That's exactly what we have been struggling with.
era nga bye bino bye mubadde muyitamu nga mubonaabona nabyo
Byetubadde
tugezaako
kugonjoola.
okugonjoola okulwanyisa
Now
era kati
it must be done. I want you to understand the whole battle.
I beg your pardon.
Njagala bategeere. I want them to understand the whole battle.
ayagala ekintu kino kyonna kyonna mukitegeere bulungi mukikenkuke bato olutalo
Now, like the boy from Kalisuzo,
era ng'ono omulenzi ava e Kaliisizo liripazo
the one who was born in difficult circumstances,
eyazaalibwa mu mbeera ey'okunyigirizibwa n'okubonaabona n'okukaluukana
now there are many people like that.
era waliwo abantu bangi abalinga ye
The question is, how can a country deal with that?
ekibuuzo kiri nti eggwanga lisobola litya okugonjoola ensonga eyo
Because we knew all this when we started. We knew all this when we started.
kubanga twamanya bino byonna okuva we twatandika
And that's why we said, first of all,
era kyova olaba tugamba mu kusookera ddala
you involve as many people in the money sectors as possible.
tuteekamu mu sekita ya ssente abantu ab'enjawulo abakugu ab'enjawulo
Si bakugu abasobola kwenyigiramu.
those that can play a role in it
Abasobola tugezako okulaba nti abasobola kwenyigira mu kukola ssente benyigiramu.
he's saying that he's trying so hard so that people
Nywera ku Luganda nkuyamba buyambi.
Kale. Okay, sir.
So
Era
that's why we have been struggling with the people joining the money economy in the four sectors.
kyova olaba tubadde tugezaako okubeera nga tulwana n'abantu abagezaako okwenyigira mu ikonomi y'okuyingiza ssente
Omubondo obuna.
in 4 groups
As you hear,
nga we muwulira
we are now 70% have joined the money economy.
ebitundu 7 ku buli 100 byegasse ku ikonomi y'okubeera ng'eyingiza ssente
Now,
oba bafuna ssente
those ones will help us to deal with the other 30%.
kati abo ebitundu 7 ku buli 100 bajja tuyambako okuba nga tuleeta n'abaana ebitundu 3 ku buli 100 nabo bagaggawale oba bafune ssente.
Aha, omwana amanyi kuvunula bannange.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
How will they do it?
Banakikola batya?
By taking taxes from them.
Nga tubajjako emisolo nga tuwa bali abatalina.
Bali abagagga tubajjako emisolo gye tukozesa okuyamba bali abalina ebisoomoozo.
Batoola ku bagagga ssente, abagagga ennyo ne babatoolako ssente ate ne bawa bano abaavu ennyo nabo basobole okuba nga beegattako oba nga bagaggawala.
So that's why in this Kisanja we are going to concentrate on number 1, getting rid of poverty.
Era mu kino ekisanja agenda kuteeka essira mu kugoba obwavu. Nkikubireko mu ngalo.
Because that poverty is the one causing all these problems.
Era obwavu obwo bwe buleeta ebizibu bino byonna.
And the way to do it is to okunyweza to those ensawo, those funds.
Era engeri y'okukikola y'ey'okunyweza ensawo ez'abo abantu ez'okulwanyisa obwavu. PDM, Parish Development Model, emyoga,
ghetto funds,
ssente zibawa abaana ba ghetto,
border funds,
sabboda. Ward kabanga akaala akatonotono akali mu kibuga ekyo ak'omu tawuni.
So Chamber Saba, what I ask you is please go and join the circle.
Abasaba mugende mweyunge ku ssako ezo.
Because these circles are open.
Kubanga ssako ezo zigguddwawo
above 18.
Nga buli muntu ali waggulu w'emyaka 18 osobola okuziganyulwa.
There is nobody who can stop you.
Teri ayinza kugaana oba kustopinga.
So we are now going to put more money, but this is good because it is accessible to everybody.
Agambye bagenda kuba bateekamu ssente